Are you looking for the best 4-bedroom STR deal in Nashville? Well, look no further than 2139 24th Avenue North here in Nashville, Tennessee.
Come on, let's go check it out.
And so you might be asking yourself, well, why is this such a great deal and why is it priced where it's priced? Well, there's a few reasons for that. The main reason is because of where we're located. We're a little bit further away from some of the other STR options, but that also allows you to get into a property at a much better price point for not a big difference in overall gross revenue that's going to be coming in, which makes it a really good play for some investors that are okay with getting into a location that's a little bit further behind in its development so that they can really get that appreciation in the coming years.
So we are in the middle living area on the second floor of 2139 24th Avenue North. I wanted to walk you guys quickly through this property. So it has nice furnishings already in here in this unit that come with the purchase of the property. They can all be used in a cost segregation study, or you can spend the money, bonus depreciation right away as an improvement to the property to be used on this year or next year's current tax bill. One of the major drivers of this property that I want to show you, on top of it being a great price in a non-owner occupied zoning, is the garage. You can see currently one of our cars is parked right in the middle of this, but ultimately it's a pretty large space to have. You can make this into whatever amenity you would like, really. I've seen them converted into movie theaters, Instagram, social media, selfie areas with lighting, etc. Or, you know, just a couple pool tables, ping pong tables, bean bags, whatever. But what we've been seeing a lot lately is the implementation of amenities like private gym, dry sauna, cold plunge, you know, yoga mats, full-length mirrors, things like that. And this has tons of space for that type of amenity with the ability to open it up to be outside. Or you can always, you know, seal this off from the guest entirely and have it be a place where you keep your private business car, or it's an area for you to keep your permanent vehicle when you're traveling in Nashville. Whatever the case may be, this is an amazing amenity to have. There's very little things that needs to get done. It has all the bare bones ready to go. And again, you can operate this on day one with our LLC transfer process for this type of zoning.
I can already hear some of you saying, but Dave, we don't like LLC transfers. Isn't that really risky? We don't want to buy an STR and then our permit get taken away by the city because we're not following the rules. And I hear all of that. But first, I think I should clear up what an LLC transfer is and what I mean by that. So when you buy a property that is grandfathered in as an STR, Nashville has changed rules over the years. One of the main changes they made back in 2019, 2020 was that this kind of zoning that this property is at was okay to have non-owner occupied short-term rental. While this was purchased, the owner was able to change this into an LLC. So now the LLC owns this property, and the city allows for that LLC to be purchased by different members, then allowing the STR permit to stay. There's no question about that. The city has allowed that, and we do work with a legal team that helped draft the ordinance for those codes. So we feel very confident that the savvy investor is going to be able to take advantage of that and do it the right way so that they can also keep that permit. But let's talk about what the value of that permit is and what the value of looking at STRs in this category versus STRs that are zoned commercially. Well, one of the main benefits is the price. So generally speaking, properties that are located in these residentially zoned neighborhoods, they typically will sell for less than a commercially zoned property. So if this was commercially zoned, it would have a higher price tag to it day one. Is there a big difference in what your net operation will be? No, but you'll have to enter at a higher price, which a lot of investors don't want to do. Another benefit to doing the LLC transfer that you may not be thinking about is that on day one, you have a fully operational STR. Day one, all the bookings transfer to you. All the assets that are in the property transfer to you. It all happens just with a different tool, not with a purchase sale agreement for a property, but with a MIPA agreement to purchase the LLC. If you have any more questions about how an LLC transfer works, or you're open to it, but you're a little bit afraid and just want to be guided by professionals, we'd love to help. Pete and I, we work with STR buyers and sellers every single day in the Nashville, Tennessee area. We work with the best team to execute these legally in the safest way possible for the investor and all parties. We'd love to chat with you more and get you connected with that team so that you can feel confident in your next STR purchase.
We're gonna do the underwriting portion for you here, so you can reach out to us directly, or this should be available in our listing. It'll be assumed at a 6.75% with 20% down DSCR loan. You may have better terms than that, or they may be worse. I think this is a good underwriting standpoint for generic, napkin math, looking at this from a financial standpoint. And I have this at a $630K purchase price, which is at appraised value, which is important to note. So you can almost always sell them for appraised value here with a non-owner occupied STR eligible property. So with that being said, we have it RM20 zoned, which is going to require an LLC purchase agreement. That is something that our team is very familiar with. We work directly with the attorneys in Nashville that were on the panel of putting the zoning ordinances together for non-owner occupied RM20 transfers as they phase out. So everything is done correctly here. You would acquire the LLC, be able to operate same day in theory. Any future or past revenue that is tied to a management account or something, things like that would be transferred to you potentially in the sale, depending on negotiation, and you'd be able to have future bookings and revenue already on your books when you acquire it. No need to apply for a new permit. So we're very, very experienced in that specific type of transfer, and we do this for our customers all the time. So when we go into that, we have here the 18% management agreement, great management with a 4-bedroom here, can do at least 85K gross. So that's what I underwrote it as. This has a 2-car garage. So if you want to use this space to improve things like, people love a private gym nowadays. It doesn't even have to be too fancy. A dry sauna, which we have direct third-party relationships with builders and third-party product providers of saunas, or cold plunges, which is a hot new amenity. So you could create a wellness center downstairs. It's immediately cost write-off as far as bonus depreciation goes. And ultimately it's gonna increase your revenue and your occupancy as well. With that being said, we're gonna dive deep here into, cash flow, roughly 8K at 20% down. It is $630K purchase price. That's an 8.4 cap. And then we're gonna dive into some of the metrics that I have here for you guys. So I have underwritten here $80 for a gig of Wi-Fi from AT&T Fiber. I have that in my own personal units. Works great, up to 26 devices or something along like that. That gives each guest on a 12 max occupancy like this up to 2 devices. Very generous, should be good for streaming. You won't need to put in cable boxes or Fire Sticks, etc. People can log in on their own accounts via smart TV with a good Wi-Fi like that. I have 150 here for for electricity, 60 for gas, 120 for water and sewer. There actually is no gas. So think of this 410 total utility budget as an ultra conservative budget. And that way we can back these things out very conservatively and feel confident in our underwriting. Permits, $320 annually. Cleanings are passed through usually to guests, especially with the management that we would recommend here in either Host Extraordinaires or Boost Management. We have great relationships with both of them in the area, but 18% is about what they're gonna charge. I think that's a fair amount for what they do. 3% for Airbnb. So overall here, guys, we're assuming a monthly hold of $3,700, your mortgage and your tax. It's a good deal. 1% on your taxes. This is actually probably a little bit high. So I think this is a conservative underwriting. It's solid cash flow immediately, and the ability to do a cost segregation, save yourself even more, or learn how to become a material participant so that you can maximize on your STR cost savings. We have the full team in place to help you guys do that here in 2139 24th Avenue North. Appreciate you guys.